So we have a friend with us today. He's from Germany, and so could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. I'm Jörn from Germany, visiting India since many, many years, already 3 decades. And I use my visits to deepen my understanding of meditation, Dhamma, Dharma, and what is the purpose of life? How can we open the full potential of being a human being?
Mm.
And for this reason, I would also like to talk with you about emotions and feelings. Emotions, we get easily caught up. Emotions are pushing us from moment to moment, feelings arising, turning maybe into emotions. What's the difference between emotion and feeling? And how can emotions help us to gain a deeper understanding? And what is also the danger or hindrance of getting caught up in emotions? In Western countries, but I think the same here, pleasant emotions and feelings are welcome, and we tend to roll in pleasure, feeling, and emotion. And we try to avoid unpleasant feelings and trying to suppress them and avoid them. But how to deal in the right way with emotions?
Mm. So the meditation approach is to stay centered. Uh, if there is a pleasurable emotion, then don't try to prolong it. Just observe it. It will come and it will go. If it is a painful emotion, don't try to push it away because it is also a guest. It will stay for some time and go away. But how to do that? So yeah, let us take fear, because I can tell you one of my experiences. So there came a period in my life, about 6 months, when I was doing just this vipassana, this 10-day vipassana, one course after another course. I would keep changing centers, and at that time they never asked if you have done one immediately before. These days I think they ask, and so it was too much for me. And then towards the end of these 6 months, I was doing my last 10-day. This was 2002. After that, I never did any 10-day course. And on the 6th or 7th day, there was fear. There was this tremendous vibration, like millions of times per second. That was the kind of feeling. And it would rise from my abdomen to my heart area. And it was too much. But when it went to my head, it was like a drill machine and going very, very thin, and then it was like I'm about to explode and pass out. And this kept happening the whole night. Couldn't sleep. And then I didn't attend the first uh, sitting, which is at 4:30. And then later, after breakfast, I went to the teacher and I said, um, I can't do any sittings because this is what is happening to me. And he said, but you have to face it. So anyway, I sat in this afternoon kind of this stan sitting where you don't move your body, which was easy for me, not moving the body, but this fear. It was 2 or 2:30. They do one sitting. So I said, any tips? What should I do? And he said, focus on your palms and the soles of your feet, and not anywhere else. Neither breath nor sensations in the rest of the body, which I did. And that was the most, the deepest kind of fear I have ever experienced in my life. And after that 1 hour, I never had that kind of fear again. It kept coming for a few years, the same kind of feeling, but not so much. So, okay, so from this, I learned that if you can observe your emotion, if you don't try to push it away, if you can observe it, then there comes a time when it begins to fade away. So, that is one experience. Maybe you have had some, so maybe you can um shed some light on this.
Yeah, yeah, fear is a good example because we all face fear or anxiety. It might be fear, stress before an exam.
Mm.
It might be a fear of losing a dear one.
Mm-hmm.
There is always in life the moment when fear and anxiety arises. We get sick. Is it
Mm-hmm.
serious? How serious it might be? And of course, the feeling and fear I have to die.
Mm-hmm.
I find the approach of we have to face it. There
Mm-hmm.
is no way around. We can try to distract our mind into something totally
Mm-hmm.
different.
Mm-hmm.
It starts from getting up and walking into the forest. We can take a shower to divert our mind from this deep catching fear, or we can go in a pub and drink beer.
Mhm,
It will,
mhm,
the fear will get numb, but sooner or later the moment will come. We have to face the fear again because it is there
mm,
and it won't escape through the back door
mm,
without giving any sign. So
mm,
that it is a karmic condition, so to say, or a sanskar or sankara. So we need to face it. How to face it? I feel it's a good advice of the teacher to at least stretch out the strong feeling of fear into the extremities of sensations in hands and feet. And while it works and the fear stretches out, I would nowadays add and give the fear the full space, the full space of what the fear needs, body wise, mental wise, space wise, and remain in the moment without going into the past. Where does the fear
mm,
coming from? And
mm,
steering it up with stories of, I had this before and it was because of this, it was because of that. Stay in the moment and try to cut off the story of the past, but be aware of the feeling. Literally, we talk about feeling and emotion of the fear right now in body and mind, and don't go into the projection. Yeah, but if I stay with this feeling now here in this moment, where will it lead to? It might cause this, it might cause me madness. If I stay here, I might go
mhm,
crazy. Cut it off, and stay in the moment and give the fear the full space in a most equanimous and balanced way. Use the extremities. Very good advice. Use the extremities, feel the sensations in hands, feel the emotion, feel the feeling of fear in the body, and then it melts already through the feeling. It's like it's a feeling that we melt through the suffering of feeling, and it has a sense, it has a feeling or experience of downwards, and the feeling starts to dissolve and it's passing away as you were experiencing it. You were
Mhm.
saying later you never had such a strong feeling, or you were caught up so much. It came different
Mhm.
shades of fear again, but you were never caught up so extremely anymore
Mhm.
because you gave it the space.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
were
Mhm.
confident and faithful, giving it the space, advice, extremity, sensation in the extremity. Still, the fear is there. I give it the space. I don't go in the past. I don't go in the future of this moment. I stay here, and we melt through the shade of this feeling, emotion of fear, and it fades. It has to
Mhm.
pass. It
Mhm.
is the nature of every phenomena to pass. This strong fear also will pass. Anxiety, worries, lust, frust, depression, all these what we face nowadays on in high levels. We need to give it this necessarily space, holding it, seeing what it is, it's moving, it's impermanent, and melting through it. If it gets overwhelming, if the word overwhelming pops up, it's I feel better to open the eyes
Mhm.
and stop the intense observation and work with the fear. I leave it till the moment of it's overwhelming, to open the eyes, stand up, go for a walk, and later you try again, or there will be in a few days, in a few weeks, another moment of strong emotions,
Mhm.
and then go a little deeper in it, and next time go a little deeper in it, and next time go a little deeper
Mhm.
in it.
Mhm.
Don't get overwhelmed, because when the word overwhelming or it's too much arises, the mind is disbalanced,
Mhm.
and then we cannot work with emotions anymore.
Mhm. What is the difference between emotion and feeling?
It is a question which I was pondering on for some time. And a meditation teacher, his name is Christopher Titmus. He's meanwhile 80 years from UK. He gave a very good suggestion. Feeling, first, there is a feeling tone. There's just the tone of a feeling. Let's stay with this very good example, fear. There is a tone of fear arising in my mind. Just a slight tone, it's a
Mm.
slight feeling. But due to our stories of all our fears of the past, we pump up this little tone, or it pumps up due to our condition of mind, trying to avoid fear and all our fears of the past. There was just this little tone, this little feeling tone, and then the stories come inside, the condition of mind of fear, and then it blows up slowly and becomes an emotion. Then I become emotional, then more stories come in, then more projections into the future. Yeah, but this fear, where will it lead to? I will always have to face it, and again it will come. And
Mhm.
feeling tone turns into a feeling, bodily sensational feeling, and then comes the story in and blows it up into an emotion. That's how I understand nowadays the
Mhm.
difference between feeling and emotion. First of all, these are two words only, and
Mhm.
many people might say it's the same, and it might be even the same. There's no big difference between a strong
Mhm.
feeling and an emotion,
Mhm.
but to give it some different meaning, I see feelings coming out of the mind or popping up in the mind as a tone, becoming a feeling, and when the story comes in, it becomes an emotion, and then it becomes a strong reacting pattern. If we
Mhm.
see the feeling tone arising and starting here already to work with awareness and the feeling tone, we might already catch the feeling here, recognizing it, acknowledging it. There is fear arising in my mind, but let me see how impermanent and how moving this fear is. And I don't allow all these past fears also coming now inside.
Mhm.
And then fear might already pass away and dissolve when it just starts to become a bigger emotion.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
What is your view on feeling and emotion? Do you see a difference?
I think it doesn't matter. We can take them together. But I was just thinking that feeling, I feel, so it is a verb. So there is some action part maybe in it.
Yeah.
And emotion is a state. It is not a verb.
Hmm.
If that has any
Yeah.
meaning, I
Yeah.
don't know. But this just came to my mind. Uh, yeah. So then, yes. So any kind of emotion, painful or pleasurable, uh, what you are suggesting, and I agree that we should not try to, if it is a painful or negative, what we call negative emotion, we don't try to push it away, we don't try to cover it up, but give it space to stay with us, and
Acknowledging it.
yeah, and then slowly, it will take time, but then it will go away. What about the pleasurable sensation or pleasurable emotion? The same approach, I suppose.
I would say
Mm,
definitely,
mm,
because otherwise we will start to have develop a craving pattern for
mm,
pleasant
mm,
emotions. If we do not acknowledge the same pattern of a
mhm,
pleasurable sensation and feeling,
mhm,
then we get caught up in the old pattern. I like this pleasurable sensation and it should stay forever because it feels so good,
mm,
and the unpleasant let's push away. We need to see the nature of both of these clear, strong sensations of pain and an unpleasant sensation, and pleasurable and pleasant sensation. And what is their nature? They arise and pass.
mhm,
So there is no that it makes no sense to hold the one or to hold the other. It just doesn't make any sense. And this is what we, I feel, need to train the mind by acknowledging painful, unpleasant sensation and pleasant sensation, clearly recognizing them and seeing their nature of arising, passing. Unpleasant sensations arise, pass, arise, pass. Pleasant sensations, same nature, rise, pass, arise, pass. So there's no need to grasp. The Buddha was using the word tanha, grasping and
mhm,
holding something which is so impermanent and so quickly changing.
mhm,
Every pleasant sensation has to turn in an unpleasant sensation. Every unpleasant sensation will turn in a pleasant sensation. And that's the game of life. If we roll in the one and we try to avoid the other, we will never be in the moment and having the full insight of the shades of life.
Okay, what is the state of mind which doesn't get distracted by painful or pleasurable emotion? Uh, how would you describe that state of mind?
Yeah. I would say it is the mind which is free of ignorance, of not knowing how things are, and the mind state which keeps balanced with whatever feeling, emotion, or sensation arises in the mind is a mind of wisdom, understanding that whatever arises in the mind, feeling, emotion, sensation, sounds, smells, touch, taste,
mm,
sights, is arising and passing, arising and passing. And due to the training of mind by meditation, that every phenomena which touches the mind, we have today the topic feeling and emotion, whatever feeling and emotion is arising in the mind, knowing, understanding panya, the wisdom of the impermanence of every phenomena which arises in the mind, every feeling, every emotion is so unstable and so non-permanent, so impermanent, and then the mind remains balanced by the knowledge and the understanding and the training. All phenomena are impermanent, so no need to liking, wanting, holding, no need to pushing away, not liking and trying to avoid, because whatever arose in the mind is already
mm,
past. Where are all our emotions now of happiness,
mm,
sadness, anxiety, of everything is superb and fine, everything is so terrible and depressing. Where are all these emotions and feelings right now? They are all gone. And now the next emotion will come in. And now the next emotion. Our day to day life is pushed by emotion to emotion from moment to moment, tensed, soft, liking, not liking, happy, sad, depressed, soft, and we get pushed from one moment to one moment by emotions. If we don't touch it too much, knowing it's gone already, the mind remains balanced. And I would like to add that doesn't mean that we become vegetables and we are
mm,
totally gray and without any feeling of life. I feel that's the deepest living of life. If we allow all emotions arising and passing in our life, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, then only we take part
mm,
in life and not picking seemingly the pleasant
mm,
sensations only out of it, trying to hold it, trying to roll in it, and trying to push every neutral and unpleasant sensation away of our life. Then we will never be part of life and enjoying the full flavor of
mm.
life from the deepest.
So I think that state of mind is what we call Shanti.
That's what we can call Shanti
At the
mind.
end of this most mantras, we say Om Shanti Shanti. So peace,
That's peace in the mind because the
peace in the
mind
mind.
doesn't get disturbed anymore and
Yeah, yeah.
losing its peace when there is the wisdom, the virya, or what's it called? Avidya, vidya.
Hmm.
What is the Sanskrit word for wisdom?
Uh,
What are you using for clear understanding and knowledge?
buddhi, buddhi, buddhi.
When this is present in mind, then
Uh,
also peace is in mind, and then no disbalance and all these disturbances, which we call unpeaceful, can't
yeah,
happen
yeah, yeah.
anymore.
Mm,
Then peace remains.
yeah, yeah,
Whatever happened, that's the fantastic thing.
yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah.
if really sad events might take place in our
Mm,
lives, and they will take place because we will depart, we will be separated from ones who we love so much. We will be confronted with people we
mm,
never wanted to see.
mm,
We will gain presents where we were never asking for, and we won't get things we always wanted to have.
mm.
if
Right.
if we stay balanced in it, then there is peace, then there's Shanti.
Shanti. I think that's a good word to end the conversation.
Shanti, Shanti.
Mm,
Thank
yeah.
you, thank you. Yeah, that would be wonderful if we can all remain in a
Mm.
Shanti mind. Thank you very much.